The CBC's Margaret Evans is one of the few Western journalists inside Syria, accompanied at all times by a Syrian government minder, but witnessing firsthand what's happening. Margaret.
Peter, the Syrian government has been promising an escalation for days now, and today it arrived.
Menace returned to the skies above Aleppo with full force today. The first airstrikes in nearly 3 weeks, leaving angry welts behind over a densely packed city. The Syrian government says its aircraft struck targets in at least 3 areas in the rebel-held east of Aleppo, besieged for several months now. This is a glimpse of the aftermath in a neighborhood called Hadareya, filmed by one of the so-called White Helmets, civil defense volunteers, posted on social media. Russian fighter jets were also in the air, although not necessarily above Aleppo. The Russian defense minister has announced a new offensive in the Syrian conflict. Moscow's only aircraft carrier now in play off the Syrian coast. Russia came under intense criticism when its warplanes pounded East Aleppo last month, a bloody chapter of the war, leaving an estimated 500 people dead, including many civilians. Observer groups in the east say hospitals are still being targeted and that only a handful of doctors remain there. In western Aleppo, under the control of pro-Syrian forces, they're much better equipped, but the conflict takes its toll here too. Mohammed Sabah was shot in the stomach by a sniper 2 weeks ago. It's left him afraid of his own neighborhood.
I feel cold and I feel I don't want to go to Hamdaniya again. I know I want to end this war because we are very tired, the Syrian tired.
Dr. Haitham Karabi is the head of the emergency department, pulled out of retirement to meet the increased demands of conflict.
The patients, they come from anywhere, from the village and even from the east. We don't ask any patient from where you are. They treat them as Syrian.
Opposition fighters in East Aleppo say they don't trust government offers of safe passage in exchange for turning over their weapons, an offer now expired anyway. But in this divided city, people do still share many things: a desire for the war to end and fear of what will come next.
Peter, this day will have put an enormous amount of pressure on the rebel groups. We're now just waiting to see what their response will be.
All right, Margaret, thank you. Another amazing report from Margaret Evans in Syria.